Tonight we report on a guilty plea from a man who robbed the freighter Burger King, and hundreds of people turn out for the Stop the Violence March in Moses Lake. What's happening in sports, Sean?
Thanks, Alan. The Running Vikes lose a close one to Spokane, and the Lady Vikings move up in the conference standings. Let's take a glance at our Weather Center forecast.
Good to be with you, everybody. Gray skies across the area with rain and snow across much of the region. I'll let you know if these conditions will persist in the extended forecast.
I'm Alan Troop, and we have all this and much more on iFiber1 News.
From the iFiber1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFiber1 News, your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFiber1 News, and it starts now.
Any freighter man could serve at least 10 years in prison for robbing the freighter Burger King in October. Aaron Shelton, a 32-year-old man, pleaded guilty in Grant County Superior Court to robbery, assault, kidnapping, and theft. Shelton faces between 10 years and 14 years in prison when he is sentenced. Shelton entered the fast food restaurant, walked behind the counter, and began threatening people with what appeared to be a revolver. He ordered the manager to the back of the store and demanded money. Ephrata police officers and Grant County Sheriff's deputies tracked Shelton to a van in the Safeway parking lot. As police officers tried to stop the van, the driver crashed into a utility pole behind Ace Hardware. The van's driver told officers Shelton forced him to flee from police. He said Shelton ordered him to drive through a ditch to try and escape, but the driver decided to hit the utility pole. More than 50 volunteers recently headed out for Grant County's annual point-in-time homeless count. Reporter Jeff Chu has the story.
The Grant County Point-in-Time Homeless Count is a day that starts before daylight. Volunteer counters filed into the Grant County Housing Authority offices Thursday at the Larson community near Moses Lake. There, the Grant County Homeless Task Force volunteers were greeted by smiling homeless program supervisor Stephanie Bonwell. She handed the counters packets containing questionnaires and forms to count people who live outdoors in their cars, motels, or campsites without utility hookups. Bonwell, the Homeless Count's lead organizer, said 52 volunteers were recruited for the Grant County-wide count. Bonwell said one thing was different this year.
We have almost all new volunteers, so I think just we were able to get the word out a little bit more.
iFiber1 News rode along with Brittany Boffman, Homeless Assistance Coordinator with the Housing Authority, out to the Pothole State Park area. Boffman and count partner Joanne Shad, who is Moses Lake United Methodist Church's minister, drove around the Pothole's more populated areas. They cruised campgrounds and lakes looking for homeless families camping out.
We didn't find anybody today, which is a good thing. That means less people are homeless in Grant County.
After the count was mostly completed at noon, the Homeless Task Force's focus moved to the Homeless Connect event at Our Lady of Fatima Catholic Church in Moses Lake. There, homeless individuals and families were offered hot coffee and lunch cooked by church volunteers. They could also get haircuts, take hot showers, and browse through a large selection of secondhand clothes. 8 different assistance agencies were available to those in need.
We have like the Housing Authority, Moses Lake Community Health, Grant Integrated Services, WorkSource, DSHS, and the Health District. The goal of today and the goal of the agencies is not just to give information, it's to provide an actual service.
More than 30 homeless people, including families with small children, showed up at the Catholic Church for food, clothes, and services. Many showed up at the Catholic Church with donations. One of them was Moses Lake High School student Vanessa Rodriguez, who was delivering to the Project Connect event what she put into her senior project.
And I just stood outside of Walmart for the weekend and I just gathered, anything. Like I got travel size hygiene items and any kind of clothing. And then a lot of people gave me money and I made like $60. So Sunday after I was done with my 4 hours, I went into the store, into Walmart, and I just bought like $60 worth of little travel size like shampoo and conditioners. And so
Bonwell said the final count of homeless people in Grant County will be reported later this month. Last year, 177 homeless people were counted, 86 of which were children. I'm Jeff Chu for iFiber One News.
And now we take a look at people being sought by law enforcement.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
And we'll take a short break and be right back.
At Moses Lake Community Health Center, we have had the privilege to serve the local communities since 1978.
What I like about working at this clinic more than any other clinic that I've worked at is the patient care. With the patient care team that we've assembled, it allows us to take care of as many facets of the patient and their family's needs.
Please take the opportunity to experience the high-quality care provided at our clinics.
When you find out about the DQ $5 lunch, all this food for only $5, you gotta tell people about it. So I situated nice. Frosty drink next to this juicy grilled burger and fries. Get my sundae, boom. I just dropped a $5 lunchogram on all my friends. Get ready for a little $5 indie.
Michael, we like your style. The $5 lunch, entree, fries, drink, plus a sundae. Only at your DQ. This is fan food, not fast food.
Good to be with you, everybody. I'm Ceci Gutierrez with your local weather report from the One News Weather Center. And it is brought to you by your Bud Clary Toyota dealer, Toyota. Let's go places. Let's begin with a quick look at your headlines across the area. In the meantime, overnight tonight, conditions promising to remain pretty quiet overnight. Unsettled weather for the rest of this week, however, and at times on and off. Rounds of precipitation accompanying an upper-level disturbance across the area with rain and mountain snow. Here's a quick look at the temperatures that topped out these past 24 hours. Upper 30s, the high in Ephrata, right where we should be for this time of the year. The low, a few degrees, approximately 10 degrees below or above where we should be. Mid-20s is the normal low. Now, across Moses Lake, similar conditions, and the sun setting at around 5:01 this afternoon. Here's a quick look at the conditions right outside your door. Upper 30s with partly to mostly cloudy skies. That wind very light out of the south-southwest. Here's a quick look overnight today. We are anticipating a bit of an unsettled scenario with the potential for rain across the area dissipating as the night progresses with mostly cloudy skies. And we notice inland northwest is where possibly the bulk of the snow will be expected to fall as we head into this Tuesday morning hours. We notice this rain entering Oregon and bringing some snow activity to the higher elevations. Mostly cloudy skies, however, expected to remain across the entire region during the next few days. And then here we go again for Thursday, another band of heavy rain promising to bring unsettled weather once again. Here's a quick look at what we can expect for this Tuesday afternoon across the area. Greater possibility for rain over northwest, gray skies, and the potential for rain cannot be ruled out across inland northwest and some snow along the higher elevations. Across the basin for this Tuesday afternoon, gray skies expected to dominate, and also these temperatures around the lower 40s. Let's take a quick look at the conditions that are off and on. Shower activity expected to persist, and these temperatures around the mid to lower 40s, a warming trend as we head into Friday, Saturday, and even into the rest of the weekend. And as we head into the beginning of the next work week, these temperatures hanging in there right around the lower 50s. So be sure to keep that rain gear handy. And this segment brought to you by your Bud Clary Toyota dealer, Toyota. Let's go places. We'll be right back with sports.
What better way to start the new year than in a new Toyota? We're making it easier than ever with 3 ways to save. Your choice of financing as low as 0%, up to $2,500 in customer cash back, or low payment leases on your favorite Toyota model, like RAV4, now just $199 per month. Just pick your favorite Toyota, the best savings options for you, and drive away. It's that easy, so start your year right. For full details, see any of your Inland Empire Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places.
We are real students,
And this really is our college.
My dream will change the outcome of my life.
My college is allowing me to achieve my dream.
My dream is to be a pilot.
My dream is to be a nurse.
Only you can determine your dream. Big Bend will help you get there.
What's your dream?
The Running Vikes were looking to extend their win streak to 3 games. At first place in the NWAC East region, you have to keep winning to stay on top. It was a big matchup between Big Bend and Spokane. The first place Vikes got off to a hot start, taking a 42-37 lead into halftime. But in the second half, things changed as Spokane started heating up from the floor. Ray Martin finished with 18 points for the Sasquatch, while Dean Ritchie added 17. Donovan Wright was the leading scorer for the Vikings with 21 points, and Mogul Adu dropped in 20 points and 10 rebounds. Alonzo Ramos also had a nice game for the Vikings with 10 points. But it wasn't enough as Spokane knocked off Big Bend 78-75. With the win, Big Bend would pass Spokane in the NWAC East region. Lady Vikings know it's always a tough battle against the Sasquatch. The Lady Vikings jumped out to an early lead and never looked back. Aubrey Vale continues to impress for the Vikings, scoring 21 points. Riley Jamette had a solid game for the Vikings with 18 points and 9 rebounds. Check out this deep 3 by Julie Bonner. The Vikings take down Spokane 58-52 and move to 2-5 in conference play. You can watch the Lady Vikings in action tonight at 7 against Northwest Indian College. iFiber1 will be broadcasting the game. It's never easy when your team loses the Super Bowl, but it really hurts when you lose on what could be known as the worst play call in NFL history. Don't put the blame on Russell Wilson. The blame should only be placed on the Seahawks coaches who called the play. In other NFL news, Cleveland Brown quarterback Johnny Manziel has checked himself into rehab. So Seahawks fans, be thankful we have Russell Wilson. Also, a tip of the hat to now former Seahawks defensive coordinator Dan Quinn. Quinn has accepted a 5-year deal with the Atlanta Falcons to become their new head coach. We'll be right back after this.
Hello, my name is Cheryl Kono. I am your local Ephrata Farmers Insurance Agent. Here at Cheryl Kono Insurance Agency, our customers always come first. We don't just work here, we live here. Please stop by the office, call, email, or Facebook me for a free auto, home, life, business, or farm and ranch quote today. We are insurance. We are farmers. Come in for a free quote today.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Well, one thing I knew from being a patient myself was that a dental office is a scary place to come to. And so we wanted everything possible to make sure that our office is a comfortable place for our patients to visit. The patients that I have, my clients, have made me a part of this community, and we want to give back in every way possible.
Our spotlight story tonight is about the Stop the Violence March in Moses Lake, where hundreds of people gathered in honor of Chris Guerra and other victims of violence. Reporter Jeff Chu was there and has the story.
Moses Lake Stop the Violence march drew widows, mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, and children of several young men who have been murdered in Grant County street violence. About 300 demonstrators of all ages took part in the march Friday night, calling for peace, justice, and an end to violence in Moses Lake and around the county. The march started near where Christian Guerra was most recently shot to death at the Jack in the Box drive-thru on Pioneer Way. Chanting marchers streamed down Pioneer to Broadway Avenue and back to Moses Lake City Hall, where Mayor Dick Dean urged family members to share their heartfelt messages about loved ones lost. The march drew Guerra's brother, Jabet, and his sister, Sarah, who were mourning the loss of their brother, Chris, who died January 18th.
I don't want to cry, but I just want to thank everybody for coming out here tonight and showing support not only to me, but to everybody that their families is out here and they know how the struggle is. I just want to thank everybody for coming out here. Everybody that knows Chris and knows everybody else, you know, they know what kind of person they were. You know, they didn't deserve none of this. I just love every one of them.
Sarah Guerra said she was pleased to see the turnout in support of her late brother and others.
This is awesome. Words can't even describe how I feel right now, how many people are here. A lot of people that didn't even know my brother showed up, and that's awesome. Chris was not just my brother, Chris was my best friend. He knew things about me before anybody else did, and he was always there to help me, and I'm just keeping in my heart today that this is all for Chris.
The march Friday night was co-organized and led by Moses Lake resident Raquel de la Garza Munoz. She founded the group Stop Gang Violence in 2011 after her husband Junior was shot to death in Quincy when he confronted a man with a gun near a children's birthday party.
Right now what's going through my mind is just, there's a lot of flashbacks, of course. And it's just a reopening a wound that never truly closes, in a sense.
Margarita Pichardo, widow of Jose Pichardo, and his mother, Graciela, attended the event to stop the violence. Jose Pichardo was shot to death in a drive-by shooting on West Valley Road on Halloween. His car crashed into a house after the shooting. Margarita marched with Pichardo's children, including his youngest.
We're here to support, to stop the violence here in Moses Lake, and I hope that everybody can hear, and I hope a lot of people can support us, because he was a father. We have a little baby too, and and it's not right. So we're here to support everybody who has been murdered, who's been killed, who's been a victim of violence. So we're here to support, and that's what we want. Stop the violence. It's unnecessary, and it hurts so much.
The emotional ripple effect of street violence was heard from others at the event, some who shared sad memories dating back several years. The march was also organized by members of the arts promoting group Studio Over Streets, which includes former gang members. Jeff Ramos, a former gang member who now helps lead Studio Over Streets, called for an end to the violence.
We're losing our kids way too soon over nonsense, over really stupid stuff, and we need to get it to stop.
I'm Jeff Chu for iFiber One News.
And we'll be right back after this.
Have you been to iFiber1.com? The most up-to-date news in the Columbia Basin is just one click away. With news, sports, and weather, you can stay in the know with what's going on in your community. Read your news on the go by visiting iFiber1.com on your tablet or even your phone. Follow us on Facebook for quick updates and discuss the news with others in our area. Your number one news source in the Columbia Basin is iFiber1.com. Check it out today.
Attention business owners. The deadline is fast approaching to advertise in the 2015 edition of the Moses Lake Local Book. Don't be the only business left out. In print or online, it's the best way to reach your customer when they're ready to buy. Call today to place your ad by calling 877-738-9829 or by visiting us online at www.statewideyp.com. The Moses Lake Local Book Telephone Directory. Simply the best advertising.
Welcome back. Grant County Sheriff Tom Jones was appointed to a board of directors position for a law enforcement support group. Jones serves on the board of directors of the Behind the Badge Foundation, a statewide nonprofit organization based in Issaquah. Board President and Monroe Police Department Sergeant Brian Johnston recommended Jones for the position. The Behind the Badge Foundation provides support to state law enforcement agencies, families, and communities after an officer has died or been seriously injured in the line of duty. The foundation also maintains the Washington State Law Enforcement Memorial in Olympia, honoring the lives and dedication of officers who have died in service. A Soap Lake woman is serving 3.5 years in prison for attacking her neighbor with a meat cleaver. Charlotte Clark, a 60-year-old woman, pleaded guilty in Grant County Superior Court to burglary and assault. Judge Evan Spurline sentenced Clark to 3 years and 6 months in prison. Clark broke into the victim's Soap Lake apartment on June 3rd while the victim was sleeping in his bedroom. Clark went into the bedroom and hit the victim in the neck with a meat cleaver. After the victim wrestled the meat cleaver away from Clark, she left the apartment. He was taken to Columbia Basin Hospital for treatment. Police arrested Clark in her apartment. She told the police the victim's girlfriend asked her to kill the victim because he beat the woman. The victim's girlfriend said the victim never hit her and she didn't ask Clark to kill him. Tickets are on sale for the 7th annual Ephrata Daddy-Daughter Dance set for February 28th at the Ephrata Recreation Center. The event gives fathers and daughters an opportunity to share dinner and dance in a family-oriented environment. Doors open for dinner at 6 p.m. with catered pizza and prime rib on the menu. The dance begins at 7:30 p.m. Tickets for the dinner and dance are $40 for a father and one daughter, with $15 for an additional daughter. Tickets only for the dance are $10 for a pair and $10 for an additional daughter. More information is available on the City of Ephrata government website, www.ephrata.org, or by calling City Hall at 509-754-4426. In Northwest news, talk about being in the right place at the right time. Portland Mountain Rescue crews were training on Mount Hood this weekend when they suddenly had to jump into action for real after 3 hikers fell. Kimberly Eiton has a look at the dramatic rescue.
I had to step out of the way.
A quick move as 2 climbers catapulted down the side of Mount Hood near Hogsback, barely missing Eric Brahms.
A woman lost her balance and drug her partner down the slope towards me.
They landed 500 feet down the mountain, close to where the rest of Brahms' team was climbing, all part of Portland Mountain Rescue. There at the time to educate climbers and to be ready for something like this.
Just having people there that knew how to attend to them was big.
Mark Morford got to them first. The woman with 2 broken ankles. The guy who fell with her suffering a broken leg. And Morford says both they and their rescuers still in danger.
A lot of ice fall, a lot of rock fall. And we've got 2 patients there and rescuers trying to attend to them with, cantaloupes and bowling balls of ice flying down.
As they helped the patients, 20 other climbers formed a human wall, using their backpacks to protect them from that falling ice.
That easily could have saved the lives of the patients we had there or our rescuers. It was really huge.
But it was only their first challenge.
All of a sudden somebody yelled falling again, and there was another climber on his way down. This guy ended up going off kind of a lip and ended up right into a fumarole, which is a hole or a steam vent.
PMR pulled him out and that climber was able to walk off the mountain. The other 2 and their rescuers stuck in the snow for hours. Air 12 was there as a National Guard helicopter brought them to safety. A hard fall and a hard lesson on a treacherous stretch.
Never underestimate Mount Hood.
And that's going to do it for us here at I-501 News. We want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow.